So the name lets the inside come out in the right way?
Yes. So what we see, that's exactly. So now there is a question. How me as a parents know what's the right name to give to my kids? Rabbi says that God gives as a nevuah to the wife. So basically the wife, she's the one, she has to choose the name. But she is choosing the name from her stage wherever she is. We never can say it's right or wrong. Wherever, any spirit level that she is, she's getting the name by nevuah from that point. So of course I want to be on the best place to be able to give the right name. So we send to the woman, take yourself to the highest spirit that you can be, choose the right name for your kids. You see, sometimes people they don't feel comfortable with the name. They don't feel comfortable with themselves. You change the name and then everything's straight up. Come to the right place, everything working. Some people even think that he's in the jail. Whatever he's trying to do, he couldn't succeed. You change the name and things open and come to itself. So I said, okay, so take 3-4 names, and this is very nice. More names, more channels. More channels, more confusing. So the best is one name. That's exactly how God treats us all the way in the Torah. We see Abraham, one name. Yitzchak, Yaakov, Moshe, Aaron, David, Shlomo. It's always one name. I know some Algerian people, they say give 3 names. I asked them once, why you give 3 names? They said, I want to confuse the Yetzer Hara, so I give 3 names. I'm confusing him. I think that he's confusing the boys more than confusing the Yetzer Hara. Yetzer Hara know us enough and good enough to be able to confusing me, not confusing him. So we think always it's the right things. I know it's always a fight. The grandfather want to give, the kids want to give the name of the grandfather, and then the family wants another. It's a big issue. But I personally think it's not from my point of view, but from a rabbi's point of view, one name. It's nice. Is there a problem, something happened in your life, you want to add a name because of you were sick, you got, and rabbis give you, add the second name because you have to, because of some reasons, add another name so you can have 2. But to go, I met people, I was in shock. They have 6 names. And the parents have 6 names. So you're asking, what is your name? 12 names coming up. How come how you remember all of them? Anyway, so for us, more straight up, give them names. That's where we go.
What's an indication to a person that they may not have the right name? The person feels it?
Of course. He feels that. He feels that he cannot express himself. You see the water in the river? There's a water running there. You're going there, there's no water. You know water. You leave it, and the water is running. You come to there, there's no water. You know that you know to do something, you're trying to do it, and it does not succeed. Many simple. You feel like there is no light in the end of the tunnel. Whatever you do, this like nothing is going. You have to understand that's part of it. It's not have to be, but that's a science.
So how does somebody like you, a Mekubal, how are you able to help a person that comes to you on a question on their name?
There is a triangle that we have to match them together to be an equal triangle. An equal triangle. And the 3 points are the name, who you are, and where you're coming from. It means the soul itself.
Where the soul comes from.
Yeah, of course, the whole reincarnation until now.
But who you are, that's who your neshama is?
Yes. You came to this world with certain purposes. We have to look at that. We have to look on the soul because the rabbi says some letters in the name represent the previous reincarnated. So we have to look at that. So that's a triangle we have to solve. If you want it as a bingo, if I can say bingo. If you want it to be like nice, so I don't know, people have, each one have his own. But really we have to look on these 3 points.
So in some families, they have the traditions, like I think by the Ashkenaz, where the first child is named by the husband, the second is by the wife, the third by the husband, the fourth by the wife. And what you're saying is it really should always be the wife that should be the lead on the name.
No, I'm saying that she has to choose.
She has to choose the name.
Yeah, it's not coming for her side. No, I'm not going by sides. No way.
So a list of names?
When she's getting pregnant, the names is coming to her by the nevuah. That's it. She's getting it. And she knows that's the name. Ask her, she dreamed, I don't know, from many points of view.
And you need to go with it.
Yes, probably. That's why God put it in her mind. And to put it, because we have 3 partners in this baby.
Right.
And God is one of them. So He's putting His part in her mind. From different ways. I know it's men don't like it because he wants to make the decisions and etc. But
how is it, like, for instance, in the United States a lot, even myself, I was given a first name, which was a secular name, a middle name, which they used the name that they gave me at my bris, so that's a Jewish name, and then the family last name. So it's a first name, middle name, and last name. So,
last name is the last name, it doesn't matter.
So even if they give me a secular first name, but at the bris I was given a proper Jewish name, then that should be okay?
The secular name is a nickname.
Uh-huh.
It's not good, it's destroying all the blessing that you got. Like people, like his name is Yaakov, everybody call him Joe.
Right.
From Joseph, they call him Joe. So Joe is nice, but really it's destroying all the blessing from Yaakov.
And what about like Isaac for Yitzchak?
It's nice because the meaning is the same, but different way of pronouncing it.
Uh-huh.
I say to the American people, say Yitzchak, he's going to break his teeth. So he get used to Isaac.
Right.
So everybody understands that Isaac is Yitzchak.
Uh-huh.
But it's better to call him as his name is. So it's okay to say, okay, people call Yitzchak, say Itik. Right? It's right or wrong? Wrong. Mm-hmm. There is no name Itik. I know that you mean to say Yitzchak, but call him Yitzchak.
Yitzi.
Yitzchak is a problem. Moishele. Can't be. It's Moshe.
Right.
Call him Moshe. That's the right things. Shlomo, Shlomi. And etc., etc. No nicknames. Use the name as it is, and it's coming. It's coming. So we see that the whole blessing for the person is the source is the name.
So how do we know what's a, like you said in the beginning, some people give their name to a child, Jerusalem.
Yes.
Well, Yerushalayim is a Jewish name. It's a holy name. It's a holy city. How do we know, like, what do we know are the names we can give versus, like, from biblical names that we shouldn't give? How do we...
If you don't know, consult with somebody understanding that. Talk with somebody you understand to give you an advice. I'll give you an example. The Rabbi Ari says we never should call our kids Lamed Yud, Lamed Yud. I don't say that because it's the name of the bed size. Or Lamed Yud, Lamed Yud Taf. We can't call them. That's not a Jewish name. We can't. And people call them like that. Poor, I said daughter, poor girls, they got this name. They can't use this name. It's have a lot of bad meanings and bring a lot of tourists on that, etc., etc. Call them the right names as it's supposed to be, whatever. And you have a problem you don't know, talk to somebody who knows to help you to choose the right things. Nothing happened. If you call her Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, what's the difference as long as it is good for her? You want the best for her. I know sometimes they say it's not a modern name. Fine. My soul is not modern. My soul was here about 3,000 years ago, start to bring here. In that time never was a woman with the name of Daniel. This does not exist. Daniel is a male name. I'm sorry, but that's the name of male name. It's not a female name.
Even if they said Daniela.
This don't exist like this.
Right.
So why you don't say Yitzchaka
Right.
and say Avrahama? I'm sorry, there's no. We can't do that. We can't. There is things we can do, things we cannot do. And we think, right, we call them that. That's the name I want. Fine. It's your kids. Do whatever you want.
So if somebody names a girl after, let's say, a brother or a close friend that's deceased, and he was a man, and they took his name and turned it, like you said, to be more feminine, that's not good. Like Daniel.
Poor. Take any girl to give him a boy name. You force her to be able. You find yourself. I can say complication. And the spirit side, that's a male name. When she getting a man, and what you expecting, this female woman try to be, you force her to behave like men, and there is a conflict. You always find them in conflict. Be careful. If I say girl, can you call her Asher, Zvulun, Issachar? Why not? Why Daniel yes and Issachar no? Because you don't like the name Issachar. But the Goyim you can find. With the Goyim you can find the Goy called his daughter Daniel. So we adopt it from the Goyim, but not from they have different stories. All their system work different from ours. B'ezrat Hashem, we hope and we try to go to follow the Bible to get the right things and to hope to see the Mashiach soon. Amen.
Amen.